Hello everyone, Trigan here. Welcome back to Transport Fever 2. Don't forget, if you like this video, tickle that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Where are we going? Oh, we're going into the station. Why did I think we were going the other direction? So we got, well, we've got all but one city connected now. But I was looking around and oh my God, look at all the people waiting there. These places that we've recently connected are sort of being starved for resources. How many people are here? Oh my goodness. I think we're going to have to lengthen these trains. All right. Passenger. This is not the resource I was thinking of there. We've doubled the length of the trains. Hopefully that'll help. I had not noticed that till just now. But yeah, we've got two different... The first one I noticed was machines. And if we look at Frisco here, you can see it's getting 10 out of the 54 machines it wants. But if you look at... Well, actually, they're not doing too bad in tools. But some of the cities are doing really bad in tools. Let's look down here. Oh, goodness, how many people do you have waiting to go up to Frisco? Why is the Frisco to West Valley City so much? Yeah, he's only getting 60 of 198 machines, and he's not getting any tools. And I think it's even worse down here. Well, 214 of 337. No, it's not worse down here. it's worse in these two right now, and probably in this one too, although he doesn't want machines and stuff yet. But you notice we do have a machines factory, a tool factory, a steel mill for the machines factory, and a whole ton of forests. Look at all these forests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all in this area, and no sawmills. The closest sawmill is right here, and we're using it. But there are two sawmills right here just north of West Valley City. So I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to run a new line down to West Valley City and to these two sawmills, which is going to mean it's going to be complicated because we're going to have to be careful not to block our access to some of this other stuff. Oh, sorry, other stuff up here. So yeah, we got the steel mill right there, so that's fine. Yeah, really, we just need to be able to make sure we keep our access to the machines plant there. Let's go ahead first and let's put some tracks in here because we're going to pass it through the station. Yeah, I know we don't necessarily have to pass it through the station, but I think it's a good idea in this case. If I try to do it otherwise, it's going to get in the way of other stuff. Platforms. I don't know if we're really going to need platforms on both sides of this, but we'll need platforms for the next thing. So we can pass through right there. So let's start out just by getting our forest connected. We're going to use these four. And let's see here. This. It'd be nice if I could put one in between them. I think we're going to have to do this. Let's do this. Let's line this up here. And then it's going to be tough to do. It's not going to work at all. I think we're going to have to come straight out of here first. For a little ways at least. To clear us of the city itself. And then we want to come around... What? To there? let's skip ahead to this for right now. We're going to want to connect into this. So let's this make it 320. Probably doesn't need to be 320, but we're going to do it anyways. Medium. I think the rest of that is fine. Okay, right there. And then I think we're going to have to switch to this. And we'll put one right there. And one right here. Road has to go. Oh, great. And it's important road, too. We're going to have to... Oh, I better pause the game. So it doesn't deconstruct something we're going to need. There. You know, with this, what we can do is this. Country roads, curvy. And we'll keep it curvy up to there. Connect that. And these are weirdly connected to begin with. Let's make that straight. There. There, we've reconnected all of that. It's odd, but it's reconnected. This road is completely unnecessary here now. Let's get rid of it. Is this a forest we're going to need? Yes, it is. Okay, so let's run a road along this side of the forest. Preferably one that doesn't clip so bad. There we go. And actually it might need to be longer. And we'll go back to this. Yeah. I was right on the length. Yeah, I think that's good. There. Alright, so I sort of feel like I should do this. Let's grab one of these. We're going to want to come around like this. And then we can come around like that. I don't think it matters which side I'm on, to be honest, but we'll go with that. Now we can go ahead and double track this. Okay, let's bring this one down. Except I don't want you to snap on, I want you to snap it next to. There we go. There. Then what we need to do here is put in a diamond switch so you can get on the right side. So it'll be single track beyond this point. There we go. Let's do something a little better with this. Don't need it crossing that twice. Actually, you know what would be better? Let's make this a little bit more direct. Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted. There. Trim this back a little further. There. I'm going to have to upgrade that road there. But we'll worry about that later. Ooh. Actually, let's worry about this now. Nope, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. There we go. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that could be upgraded before I did anything else. Okay. That's street at that point. And this actually does connect all the way down to Frisco. How about that? Come on. There we go. Just a bit. And where are you going? Here we go. This is where you're going. Alright. That's all upgraded, so that we don't have to worry about. Alright, so as I was saying, these two guys... not that. That. These two guys are going to be single track coming out of here. Then they'll have to cross over to the correct track for the two-way. Then these two guys have to hop on. Let's... yeah, like that. And then we'll go ahead and just double track all the way back up because it'll be easier. Well, a better speed coming on and off, going on and getting off the main line. And then you are not going to be able to do this very fast. Well, it still shows a decent speed. Okay. Smooth this out a bit. And now I just have to figure out how to get signals on this part. And then we can move on to the next. Okay, this should be good. We have signals here so that, well, really nothing's going to be going down that track without an okay. The one-way starts here. You can see each of these jumps on. Yeah, this should be good. Oops, I have an extra light right here. I think that all should work. Comes down to here. Now, I think we're just going to go ahead and run this right alongside the existing track, all the way down to where it starts curving. So let's say right about here. That's a seriously wide track. Yeah, it is. Thank you for stating the obvious, Growler. Alright, cool. I do not want to put these on the main track, even though we could. Partially because we're not going to be going with it very long. It's going to branch off right here. And the other is, we're going to be hauling a lot of wood. It's going to be really blocking up the main track if we do that. On top of having to change a bunch of stuff at stations. Alright, so... can I do this? I want to see if I can run this along here and cross at this narrow spot here. But I just need to see if we can make this curve. Yeah, there's a collision there. I don't care about that. Yeah, that looks like that'll work. So let's do this. We're going to run through this station. Caternary. And use this narrow part as our bridge. We don't need to do anything. I don't know why he's got a high-speed track there. There. So we'll come along this, and really we're just crossing the river there. And then here, let's see. I think what we should do is grab our track right here. Is that straight south? No, that's not. It's curving a little bit. Well, it's not curving, but the track is off kilter a little bit. There we go. Then we're going to end up going right through these mountains. I hadn't really wanted to do, but hey, we're going to have to go to about here, I think. And then we're going to curve through the mountains and connect onto that. That looks good. I like it. And then we just connect the other side up. This tunnels ought to be interesting. And whoop, right there. There we go. Okay. Cool. We've made it all the way down to here now. So come off from here to that. And now we're going to come off from here. And how's that look? Looks like we really should be following this curve further down. Looks good. And then I'm going to come to here. I want to sort of cross this spot here, sort of straight. You know what? Let's just go along the riverbank here. We don't need to cross over to the other side. That's good. And let's make that the end of it right there. Boy, this is a busy little area with tracks. All right. So that's sort of cool. I like that little route along there. And then we're sort of going to do the same thing here, I think. Let's get some roads along the sides of these. Connect that. And then we'll put a train station right here. And we're going to do the same thing we did with the two forests. These will be these will single track out to... Oh no, I really can't, can I? Because I have multiple stuff coming in. Hang on. Let's do this. We'll do this, and this way we'll actually have two platforms for trains to come in on. There. And then let's put a road here on the back side of this. And do the same thing. Yeah, it just dawned on me we're going to have trains coming in from multiple locations there, so probably would not have been a good idea to single track that. All right, that looks good. So grab this. That keeps our speed okay, coming around there. I don't like that. I hate curves like that because they sort of end up being curves to nowhere. And then you have a hard time connecting to them. Instead, let's come from this direction. Let's grab the closest one of these. Let's try to sort of position these like this. That looks almost perfect. Whoops. Yeah, I didn't want that all underground. It's okay, we'll fix it in a minute. Again, so glad we can do this. There we go. Yeah, we're going to have to dig a valley. It's only 2.6 million. In the grand scheme of things, that's not super expensive. Oh, yeah, sure it's not. And then you're going to make it even worse by digging all of this out. Well, I don't want it to be this weird computer glitchy channel through the hills here. All right. We can smooth these out. Oh, I don't like the angle on this. We got to redo this. All right. We want more of an angle that's going to go intercept that track somewhat closer than that was. Okay, let's... I think this will work. I don't know why that looks like it's sitting high in the air there. Then we just need to connect it up here somewhere. If I do this, will this be close enough? Yes, it's close enough. Good. Then all we have to do is run this over to here and then put our signals on it. I think that'll be good. I'm going to have to come back to wherever it's going to permit me to do this. Right there. You dug another channel there. Yeah, I know. We're going to have to go through and flatten this out. That looks good enough. There. Now, a couple diamond switches and some signals, and we're all set. Okay, all our signals are on. Looks like everything's right. I've got routes created, and I put a shed in. So let's go ahead and get these started. So we're going to use electric trains. We'll use the green ones. And cargo. And we are going to be using Flatcars. I'm just going to make them 321. And we'll put one on each until we see exactly what we need to do. So, Covina Forest Northeast. Covina Forest Northwest. Covina Forest Southeast. And Covina Forest Southwest. There we go. All right. Here we go. This is the last train of the bunch. Which one are we on? Southeast. We're on the Southeast Forest Freight. And I just named those 4 compass points, even though, you know, there are other forests all around them and stuff. Probably never going to end up using any of those other forests, so... I think let's just sit and enjoy this ride for a while. This is going to be a long trip. And we have one really big wood industry set up with nowhere to go. That's because Growler's got some really big... Growler! No. Bad dwarf. Bad dwarf. Jeez. All right, so yeah. Well, I didn't expect we'd get this all done in one episode. So we've got the wood going. The tools will be easy. So we can get wood being delivered from one of those 2 sawmills to the tools pretty quick next episode. Then we got to get the steel mill set up and then get steel and wood delivery going to the machine factory after that. But, except for this ride, I say we're done for today. I'm just going to stay with us for a while. I want to see what some of the scenery looks like as we go here. Need to do some flattening there. Yeah, I see that, Growler. Such a wide section of track for this area that really has so little going on, I mean, in the grand scheme of things. But this will eventually be a, big area, I'm sure. I'm expecting Covina to grow into one heck of a big city. It better with all this track we laid for it. Whereas Growler is used to laying. No! Get your mind out of the gutter, Growler. I know where you were going with that. Betty likes it. Shut up! Oh, there's our little highway bridge. And one of those ugly type ones there. But the suspension bridge just would not have looked right there, and I don't have any other bridges to choose from right now. I like the flat one with the low sides. Well, that's sort of like what we're using here. Oh, why is this not got the rusty rails? Usually I have the rusty rails on the freight bridges. Yeah, here's where we're starting to separate. I was wondering why we weren't on the big gantry like over the other tracks. We will have to check on that passenger service down. Yes, thank you, autosave. On that passenger service down, between Frisco and West Valley City, and see how that's going. I don't know why that one section was just so heavily overloaded. I don't think they're not going down to Los Angeles because there's not. I don't think I have big trains going between Los Angeles and West Valley City, so I'm a little surprised here. What is that industry over there? Coal? I don't remember. Sort of cool, we can see it off in the distance here. We should start seeing some of the other trains coming back shortly. Sort of like the fact that I set this up so that they're coming out of the shed and heading south to the sawmills, because for that first run, it gives time for the forest to start building up some cargo for them to take. This tunnel isn't too bad. Yeah, again, I still think they changed the textures. I don't remember the tunnels looking this good on the inside. They really do look not nicer. I wish they could make them round, but that might just be something that's just a bit too much to try to program in. I don't know. I don't know anything about game programming. I don't know much about programming, period. And this, I think, is our longer tunnel here. Sort of reminds me of, there is channel here on YouTube. I haven't seen it in a long time. I should check it out. I used to occasionally watch the videos from it. It's Rail Cowgirl, I think. But anyway, she's a driver, I think, on freight. I think she started out doing passengers and switched to freight in Norway. And so it's just a dash cam view from the locomotive as she makes these trips across this really beautiful landscape with all these little villages on the mountainsides and all of this. And the tunnel started reminding me of that. There's a lot of tunnels they try to skirt along the edges of the mountains, but in a lot of cases they just have to punch through a section of mountain. This is pretty cool. And of course, you know, big cities at either end where they're you know, hauling goods and passengers back and forth. It's interesting to watch.
Gee, who would have guessed that you'd be watching stuff about trains?
I know. And YouTube, being YouTube, anything you watch, they're going to send you, you know, well, they'll send you some other videos on anything you watch. The things that you don't watch and have no intention of watching and really do not want to see, those they'll recommend 1,000 videos on one page.
Growler doesn't think they could actually fit 1,000 videos on one page.
I know, I was lying. It seems like it, okay? I need to smooth this area out some, too. I mean, I guess we could see that other track there. Oh, where'd it go? It was, like, right next to us. It must have swung off over that way. We should be going around the farm soon. I think that's the... I'm not sure what that is. I remember we were swinging past it. Is it a... It's not a quarry. It might be a construction factory. Construction materials factory. I remember because that was the place where I stopped just short of the road because I wanted to make sure I went straight across the road. And here's our river over here. Which is not entirely sure it wants to have reflections. I'm shocked we haven't seen any of the trains coming back yet.
You broke something.
No, I didn't break anything. I also did not want to go through our food factory there because look at all the work I did there, all the barns and fields and everything. It looks really nice. We will have to hit that up sometime. Maybe we'll do a grand tour. Like, I think before I took a break from doing these videos because I'd done so many of them, I really just needed a break from transport fever. Which resulted in me forgetting how to do a lot of things. Believe me, I'm relearning everything. But yeah, I used to, at the end of my series, I'd do a grand tour of the map and we just ride around on trains for an entire episode.
With you running your yap.
Yes, with me running my yap. Thank you, Growler. Isn't he annoying?
Everybody loves Growler.
Another mine. Ah, here we go. Here's one of ours finally coming back. I guess they really weren't that far ahead of us. It seemed like the first train ought to be way far ahead of us, but... I do like these flat cars. I like the look of them. So these should be the northeast and northwest trains. So I think those are the first two we assigned. And then southeast and southwest are the second two. And we're on the southeast, so... Looks like we're going to the South Sawmill. So I think, if I'm right about which ones those were, we should be meeting up. Yep, there it is. I was going to say, we should be meeting up the first south, or the southwest train just coming out of here, because they'll be using the same sawmill. I tried to set up each sawmill so it had one distant forest, one closer forest, so hopefully it'll even out. There we go. We are here. We are not delivering anything. It was an empty run. Dry run.
Yeah, very dry. Where's Growler's beer?
Maybe in the next series we'll put the beer, the mod with the well, alcohol production on. Just for you, Growler. Alright guys, that's it for today. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to tickle that thumbs up button. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and we will see you next time. Have a great day.